Back here on Spotlight, the WNBA trade deadline has come and gone, folks. And one of the bigger splashes that we saw happen prior to the deadline was Dijonai Carrington, the WNBA's most improved player in 2024, now a member of the Minnesota Lynx after being traded by the Dallas Wings. So Carrington showed out in her Lynx debut, helped her team get a win, 13 points in that after. And after the game, she said, "Hey, it was one of the first times I've had fun playing basketball this season." So maybe a little bit of shade to her former team, but let's welcome in Terrika Foster-Brasby. Terrika, great to see you. We're going to do winners and losers from the trade deadline. And of course, we are starting with the Lynx and that whole Carrington trade there with the Dallas Wings. So what category does Minnesota fall in for you now that the trade deadline is officially come and gone?
Yeah, they are definitely the winners. I think the Lynx probably quietly may have made the best deadline move with getting Dijonai Carrington, and especially if MVP frontrunner Napheesa Collier is good to go after tweaking her ankle a couple of days ago. But I think they're in great shape to lock up this #1 seed. When you think about playoff prep, you think about a potential finals rematch with New York. Carrington is someone that you want to need. She gives you a defense. She's a defensive game changer. And I know things really didn't work out with her in Dallas as it relates to offensively. She's not necessarily the highest offensive, giving up the highest offensive production this year, but she is a game changer. And in the right system, like she had in Connecticut, where she was most improved player, where she even got a defensive player of the year vote, that's the kind of on-ball presence that Minnesota is looking for, and they're going to get it from her. We've already seen what she can bring to this team in her first matchup in a Minnesota jersey. So Cheryl Reeve does what all great coaches do. They get it right.
All right, so Minnesota, they're in the winners column, and we're just going to stick with the winners. And that brings us to the Storm because they get Brittany Sykes in sending a haul over to the Mystics, including a 2026 first-round pick. So what do you like most about the moves that Seattle did, including this one?
Love this for Brittany Sykes. Brittany Sykes going to Seattle, it is a huge opportunity for her. She got her first All-Star nod this year. She really was someone who helped to upgrade this Washington Mystics defense when she was playing. She really figured out how to minimize injuries and be on the court because a wise man told me the best ability is availability. And this is a big opportunity for her and the Storm because this is a great upgrade offensively for them as well. It also gives them something that Seattle really needed, and that was somebody who lives at the free throw line. She likes to put her head down and attack the basket, and that means that people are consistently giving her opportunities to score more points at the stripe. Not something that Seattle does very well at this point in time. So I love this combination. She's probably going to come off the bench playing behind Erica Wheeler, but this is definitely an upgrade for a team that is very much in the race for a contender for a championship this year.
Terrika, what about the Connecticut Sun? Because one of those moves that we saw with the Mystics trading Aaliyah Edwards to the Sun, what are your thoughts overall on that move, and where would you place them in terms of winners or losers here at the deadline?
Well, if we're going to put record aside, because we know Connecticut has like 5 wins this year, record aside, this is actually a win for them. It was a smart, forward-thinking move for them to pick up Aaliyah Edwards. She was number 6 in the 2024 draft last year, and she had a solid rookie year. She showed a lot of promise. Her usage rate was great. She knew how to get to the free throw line. She's physical, a very high motor forward. She thrives in the paint, brings toughness, but they also drafted this year in this year's draft Kiki Area-Finn, and with that, it shrank Edwards' role a little bit. The Mystics had to do what they had to do, and I think that this was a very smart move for them to send to Connecticut. Now, not only does she have an opportunity to kind of gel with this young core that already exists within Connecticut, but she's coming back home in a way, right? She's a UConn alum. Now she's got Tina Charles, Bria Hartley, Olivia Nelson-Adota, Morgan Tuck, who's the GM, is a UConn alum. It's Huskies everywhere all over Connecticut. So this is a great move, I think, that helps to really solidify what this young core could look like in the future.
I was going to say, we can't really put the Sun in the winner category for a whole lot of things this season. So they'll take it where they can get it, right, Terrika? All right, so we've kind of gone down the winners, right? And now we're going to shift over to some of the losers from the trade deadline. And we talked about the Lynx trade and then being on the winning side of things with the whole Carrington deal, right? And for Dallas, of course, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum for you.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily want to say they're losers, right? Because it's not necessarily a loss, but what it does is it makes you question a lot of the moves that were made at the beginning of this year. Because even before this deadline took place, you had Nalissa Smith, who is now in Las Vegas. You had Dijonai Carrington, who had so much promise coming in, excited about what she would do, never really got to progress. And so now you're adding in a Diamond Miller, which in a way it could work out for Dallas because Diamond Miller, I think, is a solid forward. She certainly had a lot of promise coming into the league, but injuries kind of barred her from really striving for her best potential. And I'd be interested in seeing how they protect her and utilize her moving forward. But I think overall, the brightest spots are Arika Ngumbuala and Paige Beckers this season for Dallas. So many things have gone wrong, so many things have gone awry, that to me it doesn't feel as if this season is going to pan out. And so you just kind of had to do what you had to do. But again, be interested in seeing how Diamond fits into the rotation, how they utilize her. I just don't think that this was the best outcome for Dallas, given everything that they gave up to try to form a strong team at the beginning of this year.
All right, let's talk about Las Vegas, because this is a team, they're not that far removed from that back-to-back run, and it's been an up and down season. A'ja Wilson has really been the only consistent bright spot for this team, right? And it's not really the moves that they did make, but more about what they didn't do at the trade deadline, Terrika.
Yeah, Las Vegas is one of those head scratchers, right? Because as you mentioned, A'ja Wilson continues to be the bright spot. And honestly, she's putting up MVP numbers again, as if we have not heard that before. And if it were not for the fact that Las Vegas isn't necessarily having a stellar season, that she probably would be one of the top names mentioned in the MVP category. But I would have liked to see them figure out a way to kind of do a bit more with adding some pieces that can help them defensively. This is the thing that we have seen this Las Vegas team struggle with this season, and that is being solid on the defensive end and also finding another body down there that can really help A'ja Wilson in the paint, around the rim. Haven't really seen that offensive production that we've wanted to from Kia Stokes. And so it just feels like this was a big loss for Las Vegas, because you had an opportunity to at least try to make a move, and just being kind of solid and being kind of quiet really makes me question what the direction of this team is, and also makes me question whether or not them still not having named the general manager is the best thing moving forward. So a little disappointed with the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, come on. We wanted them to give our girl A'ja some help, man. She can only carry the team for so long, Terrika. Terrika, we appreciate it recapping all the moves that we saw at the WNBA trade deadline, getting a look at the odds to win it all. The Liberty, they're the favorites to run it back at plus 155. The Aces at 25-1.